For the longest time, I thought creativity is extensively thinking outside the box.
The sun's almost completely down, so we'll enjoy the moment for a bit and then we'll head in the main city for some cool shots at the night.
So it was very later on that I realized that it's the box itself where the magic happens.
Olha a fogueira no arraial, passa agora o meu São João.
What better time to explore Kuwait City than in winters, and I found the best way to do it while testing this beautiful camera.
This is Sigma BF, and might I say, it dares to be different.
They say if Apple made a camera, it would look exactly like this.
This little thing shoots 6K, has an inbuilt SSD, a full-frame sensor, cinematic color modes, lock profile to color grade, but just one dial and 4 buttons to control everything. For the past 1 week, I've had the chance to use it, and I can confidently say it has removed all the friction from taking excellent photos. But here's the thing, for the longest time this camera got a lot of undeserved hate just because people couldn't understand who it was meant for. So in this video, we're not only gonna see who it's meant for, but break down everything in detail, check real life tests and results, see the quality out of the camera and after post-production, push it to its limits, and in the end discuss everything fair and square. So let's see if one of the simplest cameras in the world is actually worth it. Now before we get into the main video, I just really quickly want to say that this video is made possible by AAB World. It's not a paid promotion, but if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to share this experience with you. So massive thank you to them. I have full creative freedom to comment, praise, criticize, however I want according to my actual experience. Now back to the main video. Alright, so this video is divided into a couple of sections. So according to it, all the chapters are mentioned in the description. So if you want to skip to any specific part of the video, feel free to do that. If you're watching this on TV, you're probably having a nice 4K experience of the video. In section 1, let's actually start with something that not a lot of people talk about. It is the way that this camera actually lives with you. This is my R6 II, and I take it out when I need it, like you probably do with most cameras, right? But this one just comes along anywhere you're going, simply because of how compact it is. The entire body is machined from a single block of aluminum. When you hold it, it doesn't feel like a traditional camera. It feels much more premium and compact at the same time. It's flat, minimal, cold to touch, no visible grips, and no chunky dials fighting for space. Just a few touch-sensitive controls, one dial, and a clean screen. That's it. First day I used it, I kept looking for buttons that weren't there because of my muscle memory of my own camera and other cameras that I've used. But with this camera, that muscle memory was completely useless. The good thing is, by day 3, I actually stopped looking for buttons on the camera, and by day 5, my own camera started feeling cluttered to me. I'm not exaggerating. That's the actual case, and if you've actually used this camera, you will resonate with me much more. What I love is this thing not only fits into any bag, it also fits into your pocket. I've shot full frame cameras for years and I've found very few that actually slip into your pocket like this. Now during this week, I was actually out with friends and I managed to fit this camera in my jacket's pocket with the lens on. Yes, and when that happens, you stop planning things around it. I took it everywhere this week. Cafes, night drives, sunsets, outings, through the city, and not once did I think, I wish I brought something smaller, because there's nothing this small, this minimal at this price that shoots full frame, quality and 6K video. But sometimes a camera that feels perfect on paper or in your hand can still be a little disappointing. It can be disappointing when you actually look at the results. So does all the minimalism actually cost you image quality? 24.6 megapixel full frame backlit sensor. In simple terms, this camera captures great images even in low light. The dynamic range is wide, shadows and highlights hold plenty of information. But what surprised me more than the technical performance was the color. Sigma not only gave you raw files and L-lock to color grade, but built in specific color modes into this camera. So after clicking or recording, you don't have to do anything. You can share it to any platform or share it with anyone at the same time. It reduces a ton of friction. Almost all the footage you're seeing of this camera is shot in these color modes only, and I've barely touched them in post. For someone who spent a lot of time color grading, this feels like cheating, and the good kind. My personal favorite color mode was monochromatic, which is labeled as mono, and I think I've shot 80% of the time in that color mode only, and it's absolutely beautiful. And all the images that I posted on my stories were all monochromatic. The sharpness
and the clarity was on point. Now low light is where the full frame sensors show the real advantage. I shot some of the pictures after sunset, just street lights and shop fronts, nothing else. The noise, the grain, when it appears, it looks filmic rather than digital. So even if you don't want to remove it, you can post it as it is. And then there's the 6K. Though it's mainly a photo camera, you get 6000 pixels of horizontal resolution recording internally to the camera, which is pretty sick because the camera that I'm shooting on right now, R6 II, has 6K capabilities, but it requires an external recorder with it, and this little thing shoots 6K internally with L-Log if you want to color grade, or you can use it with built-in color modes and post it directly whenever you want. And by the way, there are 13 color modes, 13 built-in looks in it. Now here's where things get interesting. Everything I just showed you, every photo, every clip, there's no external memory for it. No SD card, no CF Express, no memory card of any kind. Instead, Sigma built 230 gigabytes of storage directly into the body, just like your phone. When I first read this, I thought it was a limitation. After using it for a week, I think this might be the most underrated feature of this camera. Because here's what 230 gigs hold. Roughly 14,000 JPEGs or 4,000 RAW files or 2.5 hours of highest quality 6K recording. But that's not it. When you see how it changes your workflow, you'll understand why this is the most underrated feature of this camera. Now in terms of transferring things, you shoot, you use a USB cable, you transfer your footage at SSD speeds, and you're done. You can take a backup on your laptop or directly onto your SSD. No digging through your bag for the right card, no card readers. You also can't forget your memory card because there's nothing to forget. The camera is always ready, always has storage, always charged through the same port. One USB-C cable, and that's your entire ecosystem. Plus, what I like even more is the folder structure or file management system. When you open it, the folders are automatically separated by date. So you don't have to worry about going through tons of files and finding ones for the specific day, which as a creative saves ton of time. Now I know what you're thinking. What about external mics, or what about monitors, or what about all the ports that real cameras have? And honestly, that's where we need to talk about what this camera intentionally leaves out. Let me be clear about something, because this camera got a lot of undeserved hate for this. People at Sigma, they knew what they were doing when they made this camera. It's not a camera that forgot to include features, it's a camera that actually chose to remove them. There's a difference. No SD card slot because the internal SSD is faster and eliminates a point of failure. Not to forget that SSD allows you to shoot 6K internal. No flip out screen because a fixed display keeps the body thinner and the design cleaner. No EVF, the electronic viewfinder. Every single one of these decisions serve the same philosophy. Remove friction, maintain simplicity, and prioritize everyday experience over professional edge cases. Now, is there a cost? Yes, some of the things that I experienced myself. If you're vlogging or creating videos like these, a fixed screen means you can't see yourself while recording. If you're doing professional video work, there's no dedicated mic port. I didn't check if it actually works with a USB-C wireless option, but I did do some research. It says on Google that it works, but you have to confirm and test it out in real life. Okay, and here are two things that actually hurt me a little. There's no IBIS. They have electronic stabilization option, which works, but then it crops the image. In 6K, even the electronic stabilization is not there. So if you're shooting 6K, you have to be very careful with it, because for stills you can compensate with a faster shutter speed, right? But for videos while shooting 6K, it will show shake unless you're relying on the lens-based stabilization. I get that it's a photo-first camera, but I'd push Sigma to address this in the version 2.
One more thing I did forget to add is the battery life. Though it has a USB-C ecosystem, so you can always carry a power bank, and it is very seamless. It charges really fast. But if you're going out shooting, you don't want to be worried about the battery. And I honestly felt like it was sort of a massive drawback when it came to battery. But yeah, with this camera, you might have to carry a power bank if you're shooting for long.
Now here's the thing, and I really want you to hear this. Most of these omissions are not accidents. Sigma knew that professionals would notice, and they shipped it anyway, because this camera is not trying to be everything for everyone. And once you understand who it's actually for, everything starts to make much more sense. And that's where we come to section number 5. Who is this camera for? If you're a professional cinematographer who needs XLR inputs, dual card slots, IBIS, and a fully articulating screen, this is not your camera. You already know what you need, and the BF isn't pretending to be that. If you're a studio photographer who relies on flash system tethered shooting setups, this is not your camera either. But if you're someone who wants a full frame camera that fits into your daily life, not your gear bag, your life, this might be exactly what you've been looking for. If you're tired of the mental overhead that comes with traditional cameras, the menus, the modes, the endless customization that you never quite finish setting up, the BF removes all of that. If you're traveling or if you travel and want some serious image quality, this disappears into your bag and delivers whenever you need it. If you've ever looked at your camera and felt it was too much, and if you wish that your camera was as elegant as the photos it takes, Sigma built this for you. In their own words, designed to accompany you throughout your day and capture the spontaneous beauty of everyday life. That is why BF stands for beautiful foolishness. After 1 week, though it might seem less, I would still vouch for it that it's not a marketing fluff, and this is exactly what this camera does. And to me, this honestly feels like a new era of photography. For those of you who know me, you know I actually left photography a long time ago. The workflow I once loved started feeling like friction. But this past week, things shifted significantly. I found myself enjoying taking pictures again, and actually enjoying, not for client, not for work, just for me. I might even upload some of them on my page simply because of how easy it is. So yes, to sum it all up, after a week with Sigma BF, here's where I land. This camera is not trying to be the most versatile tool in your kit. This camera is not trying to win any spec sheet comparisons. This camera is also not trying to replace your main camera if you already have one. What it's trying to do is much simpler and honestly much harder. It's trying to make you shoot more. And honestly, for me, it worked. I carried it to places I wouldn't carry a normal camera, or even if I would, I would have to plan for it. I posted things the same day because of the easy workflow. If you want something that disappears into your routine and quietly delivers beautiful stuff, this 100% delivers. If you need a professional workhorse with every port and every feature, look elsewhere. No hard feelings, Sigma would tell you the same thing. For everyone in between who's felt like cameras have gotten too complicated, too bulky, just too much, this is worth your attention. Lastly, a massive thank you to AAB World for making this review possible. This is my first brand collab and they let me speak honestly, which is something rare and I don't take it lightly. If you want to check this camera out, link is in the description. And if Sigma is listening, BF Mark II with a couple of changes, I might be the first in line. So looking forward to it.
So that's a wrap on my first long form video. I hope you enjoyed it. Took a lot of work, a lot of learning. It was great experience. And after making this, I have to say, anyone making long form videos on a consistent basis, you have my utmost respect, because I think this is the longest I've ever worked on a video. The amount of days spent shooting, the amount of time it took me to just, go through the footages and structure the timeline, it was a ton of work. So I just want to say that if you stuck around till here, I appreciate you more than you know. Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching till the end. If you liked it, hopefully more soon. Until next time.